It's me, the drinker, and well, I'm doing another super chat catch up because damn man, when I did that live stream the other day, talking about Rings of Power and all that good stuff, it was an Ask the Drinker. We had like 14,000 people watching us live, and that was just me. Holy shit, man. It shows how, well, I was going to say how popular the show is, but it shows you how it's in the news. Let's put it that way anyway. But hey, I'm here. I've got my critical doggo there, and there's another one behind me. And yeah, it's about time I caught up on the outstanding super chats from that night, man, because there was no way I was going to get through them all. So, well, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get dived right into it. The first one was from X52 Wolf, who said the Hobbit trilogy is better than the first few episodes of Rings of Power. I can't really disagree with you on that one. That's a fair play. One's World says Tolkien Estate was against Peter Jackson being looped into the project. I wonder how the feck they feel about that now. Yeah, damn, man. He was even saying himself he was ghosted about it. He wanted to see examples of what they produced for this one, and yeah, they wouldn't show it to him. But they must at least feel good that he produced 3 great movies and, well, 3 mediocre ones. Man, the mind boggles at what could have been accomplished if he'd been attached to this project. If he'd been directing it, I'm sure he would have been happy to do it. You know, I know it's a TV show rather than movies, but damn, it's not far off in terms of budgets and the way it's structured and so on. So, he could have done something special with this. But of course, that's not allowed now. We've got to bring in these fucking activists who've never really directed anything in their lives. But well, I guess they said the right things, so that's all you need. Dreadseed said, "Hi Drinker, I love your content. You probably got this question before, but will you review Better Call Saul now that it's finished?" I honestly don't know. I'm of two minds about that. It's not because I think it's a crap show or anything. I'm sure it's amazing. It's just it's a lot of content to get through, man. That's a lot of episodes because I've not really watched any of them. I watched the first couple back in season 1, and that's it. So I'd have to start right back at the beginning, and I just don't know if I've got enough time at this point, which is a real shame. I'm probably missing out on something awesome. Next one is Master Mauribius, who says, Friday before a weekend, watching as I work. Yeah, I did a lot of shit like this at my desk at work. It was fantastic. In fact, I wrote several novels when I was at my desk. All my co-workers thought I was being super productive. So, hey, everyone was a winner. Craig Riley says, just got here, mate. Good to catch you. It's almost 11 a.m. in the US, buddy. Campia is a turd. Just watched Maverick 2. Awesome movie. It is absolutely fantastic. And I think it was yesterday I was on Chrissy Meyer's podcast talking about that new clip of Tom Cruise, touting his latest Mission Impossible movie. And he was just strapped to the back of a biplane, just like flying through the air. Incredible stuff. Looked fantastic. I miss guys like that. I miss movies like that now where they used to actually use practical effects, where they take risks, where they do high risk stunts, where there's a lot of planning and thought that has to go into it instead of just filming against a green screen, or should I say a volume screen at this point, because they love their big wraparound screen that they can just map onto anything. Starry Eyes says 10 a.m. here on the east coast of the States. Upset to hear the show sucks, but not surprised. Keep doing what you do. Long-time fan here. Thank you very much, Starry Eyes. And yeah, it was an odd time for me to be doing a stream. Normally I do them at night here, but I had a little bit of time in the afternoon. And again, that's the reason I was so surprised that so many people tuned in, because it must have been early in the morning in the States. I mean, if you're on the West Coast, it probably wouldn't be... You'd still be asleep when I was streaming, but yeah, we got a great audience for it, so it was awesome. Wolfenstein 3D says, reminder that they apparently plan to do 50 episodes, but are already out of ideas 1 episode in. That's the problem, man. I think they've honestly got enough plot to stretch out to about 20 episodes, but they've got to pad it out, so everything takes like twice as long as it should. And that's what you get ridiculous shit like the rock splitting contest and all that garbage. It's just there to eat up time. Uij says, Scotchtoberfest isn't a real holiday. What are you doing to change that? I'm working on it, man. If it's anything that involves booze, I will be promoting it to the high heavens. Spongepour says, hey, Drinker, first-time chatter. A close friend of mine passed away recently. Ah, shit, I'm sorry, man. He also watched your videos and we'd quote you all the time. Things have been rough. Can I get a nah? It'll be fine. Thanks for all the laughs. Thank you, man. And I'm pleased you and your mate could enjoy my content. And I'm very sorry to hear that your friend passed away. I hope you and his family are doing all right, man. Innocent Natuli gave me $6.99, so thank you. Mr. Things says, I bet Tolkien is spinning in his grave. Yeah, according to Elon Musk, he definitely is. I just love that fucking Elon Musk with 100 million followers decided to weigh in on this shit. Yeah, I am going to review this series properly once it's finished. Like, it doesn't seem fair to start producing a review video now when we're only like 2 episodes in. So I'm going to wait until I've seen the whole of the first season, and then I can give you my thoughts. If it improves drastically, hey, great, I'll sing its praises. But if it stays as a turd, I'm gonna fucking eviscerate it. Believe that. Joshua K says, "Do you watch any anime? If so, recommendations." I don't really watch anime. No, I mean I've watched the occasional movie or whatever, and I like Studio Ghibli stuff, which I've said before. So a lot of their movies I've seen. But I'm not into like the TV shows or anything. Like I did watch Cowboy Bebop when so many people recommended it to me, and really liked that. I thought it was great fun, but I don't have any great insights into the world of anime, unfortunately. Evan McCollum gave me a thank you super sticker, so thank you, man. Appreciate it. Pig Riser says, never ceases to amaze me how uber lefty sites like The Guardian will shill for mega corporations like Amazon. Not cool, comrade. It's a means to an end, I think, for these people. It literally doesn't matter to them. They will tie themselves they'll tie themselves in knots. They'll contradict themselves. They'll go against their own principles as long as it pushes the political message that they want to be pushed. That's literally all they fucking care about, morning, noon, and night. And that's what they'll show for. I don't have many virtues in life, but I like to think I at least have some kind of principles when it comes to reviewing things. Like, I try to at least be fair. And if a show comes out, it may be laden with the message, or it may be made by people that I don't particularly like, or whatever. If it's good, I will give it its dues and I will praise it, because that's just being fair. It's giving credit where credit's due. Might not always be popular, but that's the best way to do it. Like, that's what you want to aim for as a reviewer. So yeah, it's just a shame that most journalists don't hold themselves to the same standard, I guess. Starry Eyes says here, yep, I had to super chat again just to correct my typo. It's okay. I totally got what you were asking. A guy says, my wife and I have already decided we won't be watching it, but thanks for confirming our suspicions. We decide to watch stuff based on what you say a lot. We only watch Prey because of your review. Well, that's fair play, man. Thank you. It means a lot to me that people put that much stock in my recommendations, that they'll actually watch or not watch something based on what I say. And, at the risk of sounding awfully self-serving and grandiose, it's kind of a big responsibility, because I don't want to deprive people of good entertainment just by shitting all over a film when it might otherwise be okay. So, yeah, again, it comes back to that whole being fair thing, because, I don't get paid. I don't get access to anything. I don't get advanced screeners for movies or anything like that. I just see it when everyone else does, and I give my opinion, and I try to be fair, and that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I'm glad you did watch Prey. That was one of those movies where I had a few misgivings about it, having reviewed it, but I thought it was fundamentally not too bad, and so I encouraged people to watch that one and form their own opinions about it. So I'm glad you did. Jack Wilcox says, watched Amazon destroy Wheel of Time. Won't do it with Lord of the Rings. I think that's fair play, man. If it's going to be shit, why support it? Antreep Singh says, cheers, drinker, you glorious beast of the Highlands. Staying up at 1 a.m, coming from a crap day at work just to feel the satisfaction of you tearing this nonsense apart. Oh, thanks, man. Keep up the good work and hold the line. I will do indeed, my friend. And yeah, I'm sorry you had a shit day at work. I hope things get better for you. Or just fucking quit and get a job that's actually worthy of you. Matt Jones says, looking forward to your review more so than the actual show. Keep up the good work, drinker. Thank you. I think one way or another, I will have fun with that review. I think you can count on that. The Justice 35 says, I didn't even make it 5 minutes in. Instead, I watched Shoresy, which does everything Rings of Power wants to do, but does it better. It's only 6 episodes on Hulu. When are you going to check out that series? I mean, when I've got through like the 500 other things that people want me to watch. I wish I had, I wish I didn't have to sleep or crap or do any of that stuff. And I could just, really tear into all these things that people want me to review, because there's just not enough hours in the day. It's like having this magnificent banquet laid out before you, but all you can do is just pick at tiny little pieces once in a while. That's all you've got. Night King 01 says, we got the dog. Drinker, does Tatiana know this? Know about this? Someone has a lot of explaining to do. What? I mean, she knows about both dogs, so she's all right with that. Daniel Monroe says, yes, Drinker, it's odd to see daylight in your background. When do you think the line will be drawn to stop message pushing entertainment from invading original properties? Have a drink on me. Well, I mean, a lot of people have said that Rings of Power could be the decider. It's the biggest show of the year. There's so much riding on it in terms of like what Amazon's going to do in future, future projects and so on. If this flops, it's going to be a massive wake-up call. And, well, I don't want to make a judgment on it right away because there's only been 2 episodes out. But if it deserves to flop, then I hope it does. And I hope they get exactly what's coming to them. Miss Wee Scheme says, I definitely won't watch the show, but I'll gladly watch it get roasted. Glad Tolkien never lived to see this travesty. Indeed, yeah, man. I mean, honestly, he never could have possibly imagined the media landscape that we would be living in now, 50, 60 years after his death. But there we are. And it'd be it's really sad to see what's being done to his work. I've said before, nothing pisses me off more than seeing the accomplishments of previous generations get co-opted and taken over by fucking useless, talentless hacks who absolutely butcher it. But that's what we're seeing. So, I'll push back against it as much as I can. That's the best I can do. The Wet Monkey says, got chills when Galadriel was about to be killed by the troll, but the DeLorean blasted in and killed it, revealing the driver to be another Galadriel who hands her a lightsaber. Come with me if you want to live. I wept. We all did, my friend. I love these fucking memes. They're awesome. Archimediate says, these people are parasites co-opting existing narratives in order to foster their political ideology. Exactly. They seem to revel in telling us, we own your stories. How do we tell them all to go away now? By voting with your wallets. I think that's the best way to do it, as individual customers or whatever, not each person has a massive voice or a massive platform, but collectively, whether or not you actually pay to watch something is a huge deciding factor in how successful it is. So that's the power that you have. And it's I know it's difficult because there's a temptation to hate watch things to see how bad it is, but there it is. If you watch it, whether you like it or don't like it, it doesn't matter. You watched it, especially if you paid to do so. And that's how they keep making these things. But yeah, there's absolutely that faction of people who just takes real delight in the fact that the fans are pissed off. Like I saw a really good tweet about this a couple of weeks back. I think it was referencing The Last Jedi because it was like Ryan Johnson like sucking his own dick as usual, saying it was the best movie ever made. And this guy just said there's a big proportion of people out there. There's a big contingent of people who take genuine pleasure out of knowing that something pissed people off. And I think that's exactly true. It's just that knowledge. Like it's usually, spiteful, hateful, empty people that have got nothing good in their lives. And so they just delight in tearing down things that other people love. And yeah, there are absolutely people like that out there. Gandalf the Grey says, there are 5 wizards. We've met 3. Yeah, there we go. I think he's one of the blue wizards, specifically Alatar, who was the first one to go to Middle-earth. So this was tying into what we were talking about before, whether or not this guy who crashed in the meteor is Gandalf or someone else. I think it's too obvious for it to be Gandalf. And we've seen Saruman, we've seen Gandalf, we've seen Radagast, so we've got 3 of the wizards covered. I didn't know how many there were in total, but yeah, there was definitely a blue one, so it could well be him, yeah. Abraham Stanley gave me $20 US, so thank you very much, mate. Zoomer Jack says, I love the part where the orcs sing, where there's a whip, there's a way. Brilliant work of music, Emmy award worthy. It was beautiful, and it made everyone applaud. WG says, starting to think the source material for Rings was National Lampoon's Board of the Rings. I wouldn't be surprised. They just make it up as they go. That's the great thing about not giving a fuck. Ravenfang 1998 says, hey Drinker, this is my first super chat. Will you give the dogs a pat from me? And down with Rings of Power. All right, I will do. There you go. All right, Lara. There you go, doggo. There you go. She got a pat from you. Next one is Evan McCollum, who says, will you fund my Lord of the Rings fan fiction with your book treasures? I mean, I don't get that much treasure from my books, unfortunately, so I don't know how much I can really fund. But damn, man, I'm totally in favor of people making their own projects, their own art, their own culture. Go for it. We need more of it. B Buster says Sauron will turn out to be as. Well, there's always a chance. Alfredo Artegas says, watch Generation Kill and the Armand Asante Goatee. Best thing HBO ever made besides Sopranos. So has Goatee not got John Travolta in it? I heard that was a bit shit, but I could be wrong. But yeah, Generation Kill sounds good. Brent D says, won't even hate watch it. Watched Old Henry, 2 sets, 2 main characters, a couple of supports, a plot, a great movie. That's Prime's future. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if they just they produced good stuff that was just all about the entertainment, all about telling a good story, but it's like they can't let it go. Fox Blue says, I like the part where they killed off Finrod in the first 5 minutes. Not like he does anything important. Yeah. Yeah, and they even had him like, he doesn't really seem to do anything heroic in battle. He just looks terrified and then he gets killed, and that's it. God damn. We're not going to get masculine characters played by masculine actors who actually do things like heroic and awesome anymore. Yeah, I talked about this the other day, right? I did a review of Pale Rider starring Clint Eastwood, and holy shit, like the moments in that movie where he gives people the glare, like the Clint Eastwood glare, he just looks absolutely fucking terrifying, and it looks fantastic. And I just thought, we are never going to get actors like him anymore, and we're never going to get actors who are allowed to be intimidating and just pure like death on legs, basically, which is what he is in that movie. You're never going to get allowed to see men portrayed in that kind of light anymore. They always have to be portrayed in this comical, oh, isn't it funny that he's trying to be heroic, and it's all a bit stupid, and let's just laugh at him. Like, yeah, fuck you. No one's buying into that bullshit anymore. It's shite. But it keeps getting pushed again and again. And believe me, I'll be making a video about that in particular. Jonathan Thrill said, pretty sure these actors never met each other before delivering lines together. My wife enjoyed it. She was out like a light 20 minutes in. Yeah, it's good sleep therapy, I suppose. Yeah, it's just... Well, I compare these actors to the ones that we got in the Peter Jackson trilogy, and holy shit, you're not going to be able to compare to Viggo Mortensen or Christopher Lee or Ian McKellen or Elijah Woods. Like, these actors, you're not going to be able to replicate that now. Certainly not with these fucking planks of wood, that's for sure. Guy Craker says, it's a shame given that Amazon Prime have got some pretty good shows. Jack Reacher, The Boys, The Terminal List. I even like Clarkson's Farm. Clarkson's Farm's great, yeah. I love all the Top Gear stuff and like Clarkson's Farm and stuff. He is just like super entertaining. And you actually, like, although there's a lot of dicking around in that and there's a lot of joking, like, it does actually make some serious points about how fucking hard it is to like make a living out of being a farmer now. But yeah, like this is the weird incongruous thing about Amazon, right? They can produce shows that are essentially without the message. Reacher, The Terminal List, they are just old-fashioned kind of boys' own action thrillers of the kind that you used to get all the fucking time. They can do them, but then they produce things like this, and I just think, what the fuck changes when you get involved in properties like this? I don't understand it. Imagine if they approached Lord of the Rings with the same mindset as they did with the Terminal List or with Reacher or something like that. We don't give a fuck about making it cater to the modern world or reflecting the world we live in today or appeasing people on social media. We are just going to stick to the lore as much as we can and tell the best story possible. People would have fucking loved it. Elizabeth Taylor says, thanks for watching this huge pile of Mumakil dung heap called Amazon's Rings of Power instead of me. Have a fantastic day. Love your dogs. Thank you. And yeah, I watch it so you don't have to, I guess. DS says, thank you for the awesome content, Drinker. I've been watching for a bit and I am so happy and very much entertained. 13,000 isn't a coincidence, sir. Well, thank you, man. And I'm glad you're enjoying what I do. Lucian Greyflame says, won't watch this crap. It sounds like garbage. I don't blame you. That guy in the sky says, my mum says that you smell great. Well, how does she know? How the hell does my mum know that you smell great? Love the channel. Can you shout my missus Aisling and Cork in Ireland, please? There you go. So Aisling, hope you're having a great day. And I'm sorry that this is a little bit late. Ariel Wallinger says, I had to wash my eyes with a pressure washer filled with bleach. Oof. Yeah, don't blame you. If nothing else, I will say the show looks good. It's just whenever people open their mouths and they have to do things, that's when there's a problem. Bearded says, who will have more viewers, this stream or the Rings of Power episode 2? I don't know. Like it's the most successful show on television according to Amazon, because I'm sure they would never lie to us. Dr. Schlecht says, Drinker, first time live streaming and super chatting. Thanks for all that you do. Do you think this dumpster fire will have an impact on future fantasy series, as in how not to do them? I think it's definitely going to have an impact on how not to advertise them, because holy shit, like that created so much animosity towards this show before it even aired. That is a lesson for every advertising agency in the world, how not to do it. Blue Light Studios says, Critical Drinker, can you review the Australian anime Del Toro Quest, which is free on YouTube? It's not the best, but it's better than Rings of Power. I mean, to be fair, like pretty much anything's better than Rings of Power at this point, it seems. But yeah, I'll take a look. Cool Chris said, we are here for you, Drinker, not just for Lord of the Rings. No, thank you. Happy birthday, Polly said, maybe if it bombs hard enough, seasons 2 to 5 will be set to release in time with Rian Johnson's trilogy. Now, that would be the unholy union of shittiness. Yeah. I can't imagine Ryan's going to be producing a Star Wars trilogy anytime soon. It's just great that nobody's got the heart to say it out loud. You know, we've shit canned him because he's absolute box office poison. But hey, it'll happen eventually. They got to make their excuses. He's so busy with Knives Out. It's just so time consuming, man. Producing one film, like God, what can you do? GS7585 says Amazon should have Batgirled the whole series. Nah, there's no way they could have done that. Not with $1 billion series. Like losing 90 million is one thing. Losing $1 billion is something else entirely, man. They had to bring this out. Journey with Brandon gave me $5. So thank you very much, sir. George Kessler says, if that wizard is Gandalf, it would be a huge lore break. The 5 wizards weren't sent to Middle-earth until the Third Age, and Gandalf was the last to arrive. Yep, but, well, since when did Amazon give a fuck about lore? Frankie Salamander says, entertainment mostly sucks these days, Drinker. Really appreciate your reviews, and channel saves me tons of time and money. Cheers. A lot of people have said that. Sad to see Lord of the Rings go the way of my beloved Star Trek, among many other franchises. Yeah, you got to ask yourself at a certain point, what's left? Out of the things that we used to love when we were kids, like Star Wars is gone, Star Trek's gone, fucking Lord of the Rings is gone now. There's not a huge amount that we can still enjoy, I suppose. Tony K says, side note, Florida native, and I was so sad I couldn't see you at the ice bar in Orlando. I am sorry about that, man. Regardless, it's a great bar and hope you had a good time. Yeah, it was awesome there. When we actually went into the ice bar bit where it's like sub-zero, I was having the time of my life because for the first time I was actually comfortably, like, just the perfect temperature. Everyone else put on these big fur coats to go in. I just went in with my shirt on and it was great. But yeah, I love that place. It was a nice, unique bar. But hopefully, I'll be doing lots more fan meetups like that. So we'll get another chance. Josh says, "Hey, Lord of the Rings is my favorite book and movie series. Love the extra material as well, like Silmarillion and the others. So in that case, is the show worth it? Probably not, because then you're even more into the lore than even people like me. So you're just going to get pissed off with how it takes complete liberties with it. So I probably wouldn't recommend it." Morgan Reese says, "Just finished Dark Harvest. What a great idea to not make your main characters unlikable." I know, it's crazy, right? Yeah, it's a crazy idea, but it seems to work somehow. Axie Zadgoankar says, "Hey, I've just finished episode 2. It's not that bad. I think we should wait a few episodes. It's much better than Hobbit, although I can see that the message is still there, but it's not as corrosive as Ghostbusters." No, I mean, Jesus Christ, Ghostbusters is next level shittiness. It's not as bad as that. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'll reserve judgment, and I'm not going to make a review video really until I've seen the whole season. I could at least make an informed judgment. Because hey, it may get better. Maybe this is all set up, and it's going to get into the real meat of the story in the next few episodes. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, my hopes aren't exactly high. JJ says, "Galadriel's written better than Tolkien ever could." Not really. Drac Creed says, "I felt my soul rebel during the first 45 minutes of the first episode. The Troll. It was just so slow, so badly written, and horribly casted. The music was also a bit much for what it was overlaying." It kind of was, yeah. And that troll bit was all a bit over the top. It was very Matrixy, and yeah, I just love how none of the other elves help out in any way. Like, compare that to the cave troll scene in Fellowship when they're fighting one in Moria, and it's like it's kind of a team effort to bring it down, like to distract it and stuff. And yeah, here it's like everyone else just cowers in fear, and our warrior hero Galadriel just saves the day. Of course she does, because that's what has to happen every fucking show ever now. Mr. Morphs says, "Thank you for the recommendation of RRR. Just finished watching it. What a movie. Completely over the top with a great payoff at the end. Great watch. Thanks again, you handsome specimen of a man." Thank you, man. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, Triple R was just, man, it was a fun movie. And like I said before, the emotional payoffs that it gives you are great. Like, I know it's, the over the top action and the subtitles and, the occasional, like, dance musical numbers, which are so out of place in Western cinema, but they're obviously part of like what you get in India. It's going to put a lot of people off, but it's a shame because underneath it all, there's actually a great story. Like, the characters are really well developed. The story puts them into interesting situations, and yeah, it gives you great emotional payoffs to all their various conflicts and stuff at the end. So yeah, I recommend it as a really good movie. Talwin22 says, give me 10 Australian dollars. So thank you very much. Kurt L says, "Mash of 500 million worth of video game cutscenes." That's kind of what it feels like, actually. And a lot of trailer talk. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of dialogue, and I said this before as well, probably on my last stream. There's a lot of dialogue that feels like it was just scripted, especially for the trailer. Just to sound really ominous, really heavy, really dramatic, really profound, and it just doesn't really connect with what's actually going on. Also, what the fuck are you licking my couch for? I mean, I know I've spilled food and various bodily fluids on it, but seriously, that's kind of disgusting even for a dog. You got to sort yourself out, man. I'm watching you. I am. Take it easy. All right. Anyway, yeah, the critical doggo's getting out of line there. Adam Michaels says, "Do you ever review independently made projects? We made a legit quality non-political 30-minute Teenage Ninja Turtles proof of concept pilot episode called Casey Jones Livewire. It's right here on YouTube. Please check it out, Drinker." I mean, man, I try my best to take a look at other people's works. I've done things recently, like where film school students, they had their submission pitch for like getting into film school, and like I took a look at the short movie that they produced and gave them some feedback and stuff like that on it, which was great fun. It's nice to try and help people out a little bit. It's just there's kind of limits to what I can do and how much time I can devote to stuff like that. I can only try my best. Brandon Truller says, "The highlight values are heightened to no end. It's like they saw the first Galadriel scene from the OG Lord of the Rings and said, "More, blind them into compliance." I think so, yeah. Taoist Viking Art says the people who made Triple R should start making Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Marvel content these days. Wholesome, over-the-top fun is needed in those franchises. Absolutely. Probably not so many song and dance numbers, but yeah, they could bring Tom Bombadil in, I suppose. I would honestly love to see the guys who do Cobra Kai take a crack at writing stuff like this. I think those guys understand characters and they understand balance and giving different perspectives and stuff. And it's just that is an absolutely lost art nowadays. Now it's about propaganda and just making you feel a certain way, and you have to agree with us on everything or else. Ploppy says, Drinker, are you going to be reviewing Sandman? I gave up. Yeah, I mean, I've heard mixed things about this. Some people seem to love it. Some people genuinely hated it. I think maybe it comes down to how attached you are to the source material. In my case, I know absolutely fuck all about it. So I would just have to review the actual show on its own merits. I'm interested to watch it. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell you which character was race swapped or anything like that because I don't know what they're supposed to look like to begin with. Big Doc says, my daughter loves you every day. Go away now. She thinks I know you. I told her we fell out because you won't do a drinking challenge for me. Well, that's it. You would just drink me under the table. What can I say, man? Can you please lift up your glasses in a stern way and say, challenge accepted, Toker? All right, here we go. Challenge accepted, Toker. There you go. Big Hoss says, the Hobbit movies were watchable because we were able to get more screen time of Sir Christopher Lee. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was whatever was left of Christopher Lee at that point. I think it was no coincidence that he never like stood up or did anything really. He was obviously coming towards the end of his life, but he still had that gravitas, man. He had that deep, rich voice that Christopher Lee always had. And yeah, even as an old man, he was still a fucking formidable figure. And he absolutely commanded the screen. So it was great to see him at least do that. Ray Call of Dunwell says, any person who this is their first experience needs better parents. If you're talking about Lord of the Rings, yeah, absolutely. Dino says, if the Rings of Power is a financial loss, I wouldn't bet on more seasons. Bezos is after the cash and they have the Grand Tour, which is quite far from the message. Says Bezos isn't into the ideology. I think that more comes down to like the personalities of the guys who make the Grand Tour. Like, there's no fucking way they would push the message. Like, none of them are into that. So that would have been a condition of them signing up for this stuff. So there is that. But yeah, I think they're going to make 5 seasons come what may. They're committed to it. They've got contracts and stuff in place. They can't really back out of it, and they've spent so much money on it now just to set up all these huge sets and everything that they use. They have to see it through, no matter how shit it is. Gandalf the Grey says Valinor is still a continent at this point. Only after Numenor attacks Valinor does Eru sink the island of Numenor, form the Earth into a globe, and pluck Valinor out of the world. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I get my ages of Middle Earth mixed up. So, yeah, my understanding at this point then, Middle Earth is still flat. And so it's just a flat plane, I guess. So the flat Earth people can have a field day with this. And it's only after the fall of Numenor and stuff that the world gets formed into a sphere and Valinor gets lifted up. And then that's when you have to take like the sort of golden road up off the curvature of the Earth in order to get to it. But yeah, my point still stands about how you actually get to Valinor and the big like portal that just opens up in front of you. It seems a bit kind of stupid. The big G-Man says, I'd rather they keep going with the show just for the fact that Amazon will lose money instead of making it back and become a concessionary tale. I mean, it could be seen as a tax write-off, to be honest. Like, they could put a lot of their profits into this and say, well, you know, we had to spend this much money, can't tax us. Tor says, did the breaking of the world happen yet, though? When they went to enter Valinor, that happened after Numenor attacked them. Yeah, that was like the point that was made by Gandalf the Grey there. Philip says, HBO Max released the first episode of House of the Dragon on YouTube last night. The pettiness is real. Honestly, man, I would take House of the Dragon over this any day of the week. Like, I've seen the first 2 episodes. I'm going to watch episode 3 after this. I'm liking it so far, man. I know I kind of shit on it when we did live streams about this in the past on Open Bar. saying that it just felt like a vanity project for George and nobody was interested in it. And I think they're still struggling to get the same level of interest as Game of Thrones, but the story's there, the acting's there, the characters are there. It's not on the same level as Game of Thrones in its prime, but it's got potential, and yeah, it's miles beyond Rings of Power in terms of quality. So yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on that, and I'm looking forward to reviewing it when it's all done. Loyal17 says, just read the positive reviews for fun. First one. I was worried it would feel too much like Lord of the Rings. The others just talk about visuals. Yeah, that's the kind of hard-hitting journalism we've got nowadays. Snake Dogman says, nothing, but he gave me €5, so thank you. Anthony Stabil says, modern movies are shite. I'm not going to disagree with you. They mostly are. Jack Hammer Awesome says, staying to general fantasy, if you want to be happy and depressed at the same time, rewatch the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. I know, God, it was great stuff back in the day. Spartastic 4 says, take a shot with me. Well, I don't have a shot, but I got a beer, so I'll take some of that. James Aldiges says, will you review Alita Battle Angel? Yeah, I did. Go look at it. It's on my channel. Go watch my review. Rishab Joshi says, love your content. Always makes me laugh. Thanks. Cheers, mate. Chef Nick Nero says, this is off topic, man, but how do you deal with editing? I have 3 books written, 3, and I just hate rereading and editing. Any pointers? I mean, not really. Like, editing is the grind. I don't know many people who enjoy it, but it's got to be done, unfortunately. So when you're with a publishing house, they assign an editor to you. You'll go through various stages from the high-level structural stuff down to like the really low-level sentence-level stuff. And it is a bit of a grind going through your own book again and again to try and, work out all those little kinks and fix the little problems. But man, just look at it this way. Once it's published, once it's out there in the world, you can't ever change it. So it's worth putting in that extra time just to get it right. Because, yeah, there's nothing worse than living with regrets, thinking, oh, I wish I'd changed that when I had the chance. Jeff Yang says, when Galadriel finds Sauron's mark at the fort, how does she know it's supposed to lead orcs to find Sauron? Did she read the script? Yeah, that's a really good fucking point. And it's kind of something that I thought at the time as well. Like, where's your chain of reasoning there? Like, how do you know that that's a sign for orcs to follow? And where does it actually point to? None of it makes any sense. But, like you say, she knows this because she needs the rest of the plot to happen. Snake Dogman says, have you watched the animated Castlevania series on Netflix? It's very good. It has badass female characters, both good and evil, but not woke. Well, that's good. And, I've heard good things about Castlevania, so I do still want to watch it when I get the chance. So Great Britain says, thoughts on Bullet Train? Sorry if you've been asked about this already. I haven't seen it yet, but I am going to watch it. I've heard that it's pretty good. Wolfenstein 3D says, HBO released the first episode of House of the Dragon today for free on their YouTube channel. They sure sense that there's blood in the water. Absolutely. And I say, go for it, man. Dark Hour says, I'm just glad I'm not a super fan of Tolkien. Yeah, imagine if you were, and you were fancying Sauron. I can fix him. It was fucking sickening, man, honestly. Chris Nicholson says, there's something legitimately inspirational here. Fans of Tolkien coming together and standing up to the biggest studios to say, no more. You've taken Star Wars and Doctor Who, but you shall go no further. I do like that, actually. And yeah, man, Gary and I were talking about this before. It's like Tolkien is a fan base that you do not fuck with. These people are serious about their love of the source material. And William Bebb, the last one, who says, cheers from the Valley of Death Zombie Trailer Park. Lovely free novel. Cheers, man. And managed to get through them all. That is all of the super chats. I know this was kind of a brisk and breezy stream. But yeah, I did want to get through all of them because I didn't want anyone to feel left behind with these super chats. Like, I was blown away by, how generous people were when I did that stream. And like every time I do these Ask the Drinker streams, people just they're so generous with supporting my work, and I very much appreciate it, guys. So thank you. And the next time you see me on a live stream will be on Thursday, and I'm going to be doing an open bar, and we've got a pretty good group of people coming on. We've got Tyrone Magnus finally. he's done so many videos reacting to my stuff. It was great to be able to finally bring him on the stream. And yeah, various other people who are very much into their Lord of the Rings. So it should make for an interesting chat. But anyway, I'm pretty much done here. So I'm gonna head off. So that's all I've got for today. So